everybody, it is John the Comic Guy, and who doesn't like comics for free? I've said it so many times before. If you've seen my videos, you know I'm a big trader. So today we're going to talk about and celebrate some books that I just got recently from a good friend of mine, and I didn't pay a penny. These were all free. And before we start on that, let me also give a shout out to one of our viewers, Steve Ramsey, 6562. He asked about robots, and every so often I'm going to show you some robots. The robot I'm sharing today is actually not rare at all, and it's still selling on eBay, I think, but I got it over 20 years ago, I believe. And this planet robot looks kind of like Robbie the Robot, but check this out. And this is from Schilling. The company is Schilling. I was looking for a date when these were manufactured, and I couldn't find it. Even when I looked it up, I didn't find it. But they even say this is not to be played with by kids, right? This is for collectors. So while it's a relatively new tin robot, I love it. I saw it, I had to have it, and it's a wind-up toy. So you hear that? You gotta love working wind-up toys. It's so cool. I actually have a black one and I have a red one. I like the red color. So I have it. It looks like a little Robbie the Robot fix, and man, it's a great toy. You can still pick them up for I think like $30 or $40 on eBay, maybe a little less. But I ended up getting a handful of these, and I'm not sure where I gave them out to, but I think I spent maybe $15 a pop about 10, 20 years ago. I'm thinking it's closer to 15, 20 years ago, if not even longer. It was around that time. But yeah, they were cheaper back then, but they're still selling them. So I don't know if they're still making them, but they certainly have enough stock to still make them available. The robot, it's the mechanical planet robot from Schilling. It's a nice tin robot. So Steve, hope that kind of satisfies your robot fix for now. Now, I want to give a massive shout out to my friend Marcus. He's local by me. He's a physical therapist. He's a massage therapist. The guy's talented. He's skilled. He's hardworking, and he collects comic books. As a matter of fact, about 2-3 years ago, probably when we first met, that first meeting we did a trade. You could just tell the guy was so into it. And then recently, I saw a posting on Facebook that he had comic books that he was willing to trade. Right now, he's hot for X-Men books. And he was listing the books that he wanted, and I had one of them. I had X-Men 95 in my own collection. So at that point, it's like, hey, Marcus, if you want to do a little trade, come on over. He did. So these were the books that I got, all for that X-Men number 95. And ultimately, I think it was a good trade, right? X-Men 95, he really wanted. He left happy, and I left happy. And I ended up getting these, and I think his was a good upgrade to the one he had. So another funny story about Marcus, once we agreed on doing this trade or meeting up for this trade, because mine was a higher graded number 95, he was hunting that day for comics, and he saw a bunch of Not Brand X. So this is the first book that I'm going to show you, which is Not Brand X number 11. It was an upgrade to my collection. So my old copy went to inventory. I'm going to keep this one. And again, this is still a mid-grade, right? You could see the subscription crease down the middle. But it was better than the one I had. But he was flipping through comic store's inventory, and he got these pretty cheap. So he's like, hey, if John passively collects Not Brand X, that'll start building up on what he has to trade. And that worked out because I ended up taking them all. So Not Brand X number 11. Again, mid-grade subscription crease, but it was an upgrade to me. The next is a funny one. So this is Not Brand X number 8. If you look at this, you're like, whoa, that is a flaming high grade copy. It's actually not. It's closer to a 3.0, and the reason is because there's writing all on the cover. It's outlined, so obviously this is common because it's common enough to even have its own section in the CGC grading book. So some kid What word am I looking for, people? What word? He sketched on the outline of every word and every picture here on the front cover. And there's not only ink, but indentation. So I'm looking at it and I almost don't see the ink. So, maybe he did it with, I bet you what he did is he used sketch paper. Because you don't see, except for the writing below, you don't see a lot of ink. And I think he probably used sketch paper on this, but you have some ink on here where the words are, and you also have a whole cover of indentation. So, if you look at the grading book from CGC, the indentations brings it down to a 6. The writing brings it down to a 4. You combine that, and I think I probably have about a 3. So it's a low grade copy because of the accumulation of all of the defects. But wow, it presents beautifully. I love it. So Not Brand Deck number 8, low grade, but looks very high grade. The next, Not Brand Ek number 6. If you saw my other video, I collect passively Not Brand Ek. And if you haven't, check out the little flash right there. It's my other video where I really like the covers of Not Brand Ek. Again, it's no doubt this is a spoof cover, but I like it. It looks great. So Not Brand Deck number 6, another addition to my collection and currently helping fill out my Not Brand Deck run. The next is Marvel Superheroes Presents number 17 with the Black Knight. Again, this is a lower grade, right? It has, you could see clearly color break in the subscription crease. I don't tend to like to press these square bound books, so I'm not going to press this. I pressed a few, and I haven't damaged any, but it's just a lot of work. And again, this is such a low grade copy. I'm gonna stay and hold my hand on this one. So again, Black Knight number 17, Marvel Superheroes Presents number 17. The relevant reason this is a minor key is this is the first meeting of the original Black Knight, which is Sir Percy, and Dave Whitman, which is the third Black Knight. The other relevance is the original. This is the origin of the Black Knight of Sir Percy, and the origin of Ebony Blade and Ebony Dagger. So again, that was in Key Collector, minor key. I'll take it. Low grade. Thank you so much. Number 17, Marvel Superheroes. The next was a book that I did not have. The next 3, the final 3, are books I did not have. First is Fantastic Four number 98. That shows very well. This is a mid to high grade. I would say this is a 7.0. Beautiful. It pressed well. Has a couple of spine ticks, but not bad at all. Fantastic Four number 98. Very happy to add that to my own collection. And by the way, I just actually was wrong before. I lied. I had a copy of this. This was an upgrade, but I'm also keeping my original copy. This is Fantastic Four number 60. Peril and the Power. I like it because it's a Doom cover. I like Doom covers with with Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom. How can you go wrong with it? So I like this cover. I'm keeping both my older, lower grade copy and this is probably a 5.0, but it does. It presents beautifully. Fantastic Four number 60. I am happy to get this copy. Nice upgrade, and it's a Doom cover. I like it. My last book from this trade, again, remember, everything we got here was free. It was a trade. It cost me nothing. It cost Marcus nothing. We both left happy. This one is, last but not least, Fantastic Four, issue number 30. This is a low grade, no doubt. This is about like a 3.0. Might even go down to a 2.5. There's a lot of spine ticks there. There's a little dog ear going on, but I didn't have this in my own collection. The relevance of this book, it is the first appearance of Diablo. And who is Diablo exactly? Diablo's a 9th century alchemist who sold his soul to Mephisto for an extended life. I don't know. I think Diablo got the short end of that stick dealing with Mephisto, but This is a great book, cool cover. I love the older Fantastic Fours. It's funny, Fantastic Four is a book that I don't actually actively seek out. But when I can get older Silver Age books, I have to snag them and I enjoy them. And I think for me in my world, I always enjoyed older Fantastic Four. I think the title went awry maybe in the mid '80s. I think when it started going to like 40-cent cover prices, for some reason I just stopped enjoying the title. So that's when it went awry with me. It all went off the rails. But before that, for the most part, I really always loved older Fantastic Four. So, what do you think? What do you think of my trades for a very high grade X-Men 95? I think Marcus left happy. Again, financially, maybe he got the better side of the deal, but I'm okay with that because one, I made a friend happy. I got books that I'd rather have. Right? I'm not a massive X-Men fan. He's looking, obviously, he's speculating a little bit. He left happy. He left here, and I was happy, and I got a bunch of books that I am going to enjoy. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Marcus, thank you so much again for coming by and doing this trade. Everybody, if you like this content, I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate you being here. Everybody, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.